Conference USA Media Days continue from Frisco, Texas. Today we are talking with teams from the West. Tomorrow we will do the East beginning at 9 a.m. That, of course, is Central Time. Up next is Southern Miss. Last year they finished with a record of 8-5. They went to the Independence Bowl. And this year they're expected to finish fourth in the conference. And joining us, our head coach, Jay Hobson. Jay, good to see you again.
Good seeing you.
And we're going to be talking to you in a second. Introduce the players first. Drake Dorbick, Conference USA honorable mention all last season. Missed some spring because of injury. We'll be talking about what position you're going to be playing this year. And Ladarius Harris, Conference USA honorable mention last year, along with Harris, along with Darian Yancey, 41 career starts at defensive end. So we're going to talk about the bookends you got going. First of all, Jay, how do you look back at last season? You finished 8-5, 6-2 in conference play. You tied for second. Give me kind of a Reader's Digest version of last year.
We were a quarter short. You know, that's football. And you got to give North Texas credit. They did what they had to do to win the side. So again, we've got to go to work and we got to find that quarter. It's a battle in Conference USA every week, and we understand it doesn't matter who you play in our conference. Again, 10 bowl eligible teams, and it's a battle every Saturday. So our guys understand each and every Saturday in Conference USA it's going to be a battle.
Let's talk about offense first. Your overview of the offense performance. You're losing, obviously, the judge, Ito Smith. Big loss because he provided so much offensively. But where do you get those yards from at running back and at wide receiver?
Well, you're going to think I'm crazy, but we're much more talented at the running back position right now. Now, we lose a guy like Ito, and again, Ito's one of the best players in Conference USA recent history.
Right.
But when you look at our running back stable with Tez Parks, we get George Payne back, who redshirted, who kind of was a co-runner with Ito 2 years ago, and then we have T-Rod Daniels, and then Darius Mayberry's coming back, as well as Steven Anderson had a really big spring, and Travinsky Mosley. So we're talented at the running back position. We just have to, it might be one, it might be two, but we just got to take up that slack from graduating Ito, and I think those guys are more than athletic enough to do that.
Of course, Ito Smith now playing with the Atlanta Falcons, or will be going to camp with them. You get your quarterback back. Quandre Griggs started 7 games, 16 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last season. What does he have to get better at? What was he challenging?
I really was pleased with Quadre at the end of the season. I thought he directed our offense extremely well. One thing about the quarterback position is we're going to have competition at that spot. And, again, we've got, I'm being honest, a 4-man battle. Quadre finished up the starter last year, but we brought in Jack Abraham and Tate Watley, and Marcelo was with us last year, Rodriguez. So we've got 4 guys, I think, that are extremely talented. They're only going to make each other better, Ron. And we're going to put the football down in August and let them compete, and we'll let that position sort itself out.
Does the offensive line have to gel?
I think our offensive line is a strength of our football team. Again, last year 6 of our top 10 were freshmen. These guys have played a lot of football together on the offensive line, and I'm seeing a unit that's just getting better and better and better and better. So, again, I think our offensive line up front, defensively and offensively, I think that's a real strength for a football team.
Let's talk to Drake Dorbick, one of the offensive linemen, about this. Drake, first of all, how's your health?
It's better.
Better?
Yes.
It wasn't real positive, guy.
Yeah.
It's a lot better because you missed some time in spring because of injuries. Now, the question is, are you going to play left tackle? Where are you going to play this year?
Right now I'm repping right tackle. We'll see how fall camp plays out and wherever I'm needed.
So we talk about the fact you were young on the offensive line last year. As a leader of that offensive line, have you pushed the other players on the front 5?
Yeah, I have. I've been telling people all day, I try to lead by example and let them follow. I'm not as much of a vocal guy as you see, like in the definition of a leader. I'm more, I just try to lead by example.
And the fact you're having intense competition at running back, which Coach just talked about, which I like personally, I think when a guy knows that his job may be taken, you play a little bit harder. What's it like when you see that competition back there for you as an offensive lineman? I
love competition all around. I'm a competitive guy, and it makes the whole team better. If you're competing against multiple guys at the running back position. You know, it's only going to make each one of them better.
Now, what about the fact you do have a quarterback competition? Because it seemed like last year whoever started was the one that was healthy. I may be wrong. Is that a fair statement?
We've had 2 years where our starter got hurt about week 4 or 5 of the season for the last 2 years. So again, one thing that I do feel good about, Ron, is the depth at the quarterback position. So that's always a positive.
Is it tough, though, blocking? Not everybody's different. And one guy may be a little better runner, maybe a little better passer. Is that something you have to keep as an offensive lineman in the back of your head?
Definitely. I feel like the most important thing is the communication between the quarterbacks, and I think all of them are doing a great job, and we're learning how each of them run the scheme as an individual during the off season. So we kind of get a view of all different ways to run it.
Ladarius, I haven't forgot about you, buddy. I'm going to get to you in 1 second. I
right.
promise, okay? 4 starters back on defense. You have a new defensive coordinator. Tim Billings takes over. What, if any, changes will be made defensively?
We're going to do what we do, Ron. There won't
There
be
you
any
go.
changes for what
Because
we
that's
do.
your background,
That's
though.
what we do. But, again, we're blessed to have Tim with us. Tim and I have coached together for a long time. We've actually known each other for a quarter of a century, and our history goes way back. I can tell you this: he is not a good coach. He's an outstanding coach. He's been a defensive coordinator at Wake Forest and Marshall, and was a head coach at Southeast Missouri. But Tim's been with me. He's known me. We're guys that we've talked football with each other for, again, a quarter of a century, and just to have him on staff is a true blessing for me. And he's done a great job. And again, our guys really, really take to him well, and we're blessed to have a lot of good guys on that side of the ball.
And he came from the safeties position, coach, so he just kind of
Right.
moved over.
Right.
I talked to one coach. I said, describe Southern Miss's defense. And the word they use, they are mean on defense. I want to have you first respond to it, Ladarius. Are you guys mean on defense?
Yes, I can agree with that. We play pretty mean.
In what way?
Getting to the ball.
And is that something that it's instilled in you by the coaching staff? Just go to the ball, go to the ball?
Yes, sir.
And how about you this season? Did you set any goals?
Yes, I've set a lot of goals. One specifically for stat-wise for me next year to get better.
What are the things you talk about stats, Coach? And when you look down at the numbers, one thing you did improve in, turnover margin. Last year from 2016, you were minus 17 in 2016, only minus 1 in 2017.
Right. Big difference. And, again, I think one thing that we do on that side of the ball is we emphasize that, but also, hey, Southern Miss has a tradition, the Nasty Bunch. That's Southern Miss football, putting the black and gold on. So I think our guys understand that when they sign up with Southern Miss, if you're going to put the black and gold on, that's a tradition. I always say there's only 2 great football traditions that teams that have a name. Southern Miss is the Nasty Bunch, Texas A&M's the Wrecking Crew, and those are traditions that have lasted for 50 years.
Exactly.
So it's not like it's a new wave. We're making up a tradition as we come in. That's a tradition that I came into as an assistant and as a head coach. Every football player that puts that black and gold on has to understand when you sign at Southern Miss, you're signing up to be a part of the Nasty Bunch, and that's just our tradition, and that's who we are.
Well, you're getting Picasso Nelson Jr. back in the secondary. That has to be a big plus for you.
It is. And, of course, Picasso's been a 3-year starter for us, and getting him back was big. Sometimes we thought it was a big adversity last year losing him, but, we look back, and it's been a real blessing. So he's going to be a leader for us on that back end.
They were second in total defense, Southern Miss, last season. The one thing that stands out, you only have 6 home games in 2018. Talk about your schedule, what you like, what you don't like.
Well, we open up at home, first games against Jackson State, which is in-state rival, and we know that'll be a great electric atmosphere. It should be a packed house, and, again, we at home the very next week with Monroe, so hopefully we'll pack it out at the Rock early, and we all know the conference schedule is going to be tough every Saturday, and we got a lot of great conference opponents coming into the Rock, and it's just a great environment. I think we'll have some big crowds.
If you haven't been to a game in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, you really have to go there because the crowd really gets into it. One of the fun places I enjoy doing games.
I appreciate that.
Your fans are outstanding, by the way. Now, we've got a Southern Miss graduate who's here, Joe Trahan. He's actually Dallas Cowboy PR guy,
That's right.
Southern Miss alum.
Just talk to Joe. That's
So
right.
is he going to give you the big tour over there, guys?
We need the inside tour. He needs to take us through. Maybe we'll get into the Jerry Jones suite right there. But appreciate Joe coming over and talking to us, and it's always great to see Golden Eagles.
What about going and seeing the Cowboy facility? Is that something you want to do?
Yeah, we played in the Heart of Dallas Bowl my freshman
Right.
year, so I saw the AT&T Arena.
Right.
I think this new practice facility will be a little different.
What's the first thing you're going to do when you go over there? You probably want to go where the defense dresses and stuff,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Now, you want to go out in the outside field and run sprints, right, instead of going on the inside?
We'll do plenty of those when we get back.
There you go. Gentlemen, I appreciate all the time. Thank you for being with us. Enjoy Conference USA Media. Hey, always a
Appreciate it,
pleasure, my
Ryan.
friend.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
And the grind starts now, as you and I were
It
talking
does.
about
Summer's
earlier.
over.
Summer's
That's
over.
right.
That's exactly right.